Let me begin my piece by quoting from Zulweta de Costa, an award-winning poem like the Mulabe. We, the Filipinos today, are soft, easygoing, parasitic, inconstant, indolent, inefficient. Would you have me sugarcoat you? I would be happy to shower praise upon my countrymen, but let us be realists. Let us strip ourselves. Youth of the land, you are a bitter pill to swallow. These were the words of the man who won the first Commonwealth literary poem more than half a century ago. His was a serious accusation against the Filipino during his time. For a moment, however, let me suspend my comment on such an indictment. My fellow contestant on stage, distinguished members of the Board of Judges, ladies and gentlemen, for this year our theme, the Filipino culture amidst globalization. Perhaps it immediately befits us to first ask two questions. The first question is, what do we mean by the word culture? If we look in the books, the term culture is given a highly technical meaning that behooves only the scholars among us. Without the meaning to be simplistic, I would risk to understand it as way of life. The Filipino culture, therefore, refers to the Filipino way of life. His worldview, his integrated pattern of knowledge, his beliefs and behavior, which had developed through the ages and which the succeeding generations are expected to imbibe unless drastic and radical interventions come into play. The second question that needs clarification is, what do we mean by the word globalization? I shall attempt to answer this question using the historical point of view. Our colonial masters, before they set foot on the Philippine soil, we knew only of our tribe. We belonged to that tribe. We lived and survived within the confines of that tribe. We have our tribal government, led by our tribal leaders. When our colonizers took us under their control, we were exposed and forced to live a different lifestyle. An experience which is not devoid of abuses, oppressions, and injustices. For a moment, we suffered in silence. That silence, however, broke loose, and there were some few among us who dared to speak out. Leading these few Filipinos were two prominent men, Andres Bonifacio and Jose Rizal. Until then, we have realized that we have a common grievance against a common adversary. Our tribes find the immediate and important need to band together and combine forces to fight the enemy. In the end, a nation was formed. This is what we know today as the Filipino nation. From tribalism, we have turned to nationalism. From tribal citizenship, we have turned to national citizenship. But today, there is more than being a citizen of a country. We are now a living witness of what erstwhile was a reality only in science fiction that we read in the past. I did not say more. You have cellular phones and you have had a chance to talk and text message in the world, come graphics, and all that stuff. You access the internet and you have the word library in your hands. The world has become a village, a global village. Thanks and no thanks to the information highway, through which our information traveled in an amazing speed. Today, we have become a global citizen too. But there is more to globalization than the mere speedy flow of information to and from our country. Ultimately, it is our survival as a people, not only culturally, but politically and economically as well, that we should address vis-a-vis the issue of globalization. Ladies and gentlemen, are we prepared for globalization? Does our culture allow us for globalization? What is our culture as a people? Let us pause for a while and take a hard look at ourselves. Let me now take you back from the indictment so loudly raised by the Costa. Are we the same Filipinos whom he accused a bitter pill to swallow? Because we are easygoing, soft, parasitic, inconstant, indolent, and inefficient? Is this our is this still our way of life as a people? Is this still our culture? I find it objectionable to say yes, but I cannot say no because we seem to suffer from cultural ambivalence. There is much paradox in our culture as a people. We are for excellence, yet we practice mediocrity. We love our freedom, yet we persevere and suffer from oppressions and injustice. We condemn graft and corruption, yet we ourselves are grafters and corrupts. We have the capability to build, yet we use it for the construction. We desire to climb upward, yet we ourselves are part of the anarchy and chaos. We desire to be punctual, yet we always come late. We report for work, yet we play while we work. Globalization is the survival of the fittest among nations. It is the survival of the fittest among men. It shall determine who in the human race has the right to live in this world. Unless we take definite decisions to get our acts together, globalization shall bring forth a most tragic disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not mean to moralize, but we need to face squarely our problem as a nation. We cannot delude ourselves into thinking that we are doing right, that we are a great nation, that we are great as any other nation when there is much to be done and undone. We cannot compete globally unless we take the basic preconditions of national unity. We cannot compete globally under the vicious cycle of political strife and disunity. We cannot compete globally in the absence of national discipline. We cannot compete globally unless we learn to help ourselves. Globalization shall make the strong nation even much stronger. It will only destroy the poor and the weak ones. To which country would you like to belong? The choice is yours.